Hey guys, I'm going to talk about how I make Project Life cards for the app in the Over app using the Over graphics. So if you have the free version, you won't be able to do this as well. You might have to use your own graphics from digital kits, which is fine. You can easily do that, but I'm going to show you how I do it with the Over app graphics, with the Over Pro. So I am in my projects down here. You can see it's in yellow. And I'm going to press on this button that will give me a new project. For the sake of this video, I'm going to make a transparent background. But you can scroll through, you can make a white background. You can always change the color when you get in, but you can make a white background or a black background. And while we're here really quick, you can see these layouts right here you can use for Instagram stories, which is kind of nice. Because a lot of times nothing's ever really formatted for that size for the Instagram stories. So it's kind of fun to have these little templates to use. But I'm going to open up a transparent background just to show you guys how we're going to do this. So for a 3x4 card, I'm not going to change my dimensions. If I'm doing a 12x12 page, I will change my dimensions, but for the 3x4 card, I'm just going to stick with the Over app's suggested dimensions. So if we scroll through here at the bottom, we can see we're changing. We have lots of different options. I'm going to pick a 3x4. Here is your 3x2, which is your 6x4 card. You can always rotate it. As you can see up here, there's a little rotate button. So I'm going to pick a 3x4. That's usually commonly what I most need is a 3x4 card. So again, I'm going to stick with their dimensions that they've suggested, and I'm going to press the check button. So now we have all these options down here. We have image down in the corner. This is going to pull up all my photos. So this is what you use when you're scrapbooking, of course. But, and up here you have, if you pull down, as you saw I did, you have more, you have all photos. I don't know why it doesn't show me all my photos. I guess it's kind of weird, but I guess that pulls up my camera roll and all my folders. And then you have the camera. So this is in the image. We're not going to use this right now, but I just wanted to show that to you. I'm going to go here to this middle one that says graphic. So it's so nice. After a couple months being in the Pro version, the search for the graphics was really, really frustrating. And then just in the past couple months, they've redid all the graphics search. So now it's so organized. I can type in anything, search here. I'm going to search for a rainbow really quick because my daughter has this really cute little rainbow dress that I just took some pictures of. And you can see, so it's showing me all the graphics that have rainbows are down here. Oh, my son's getting off the bus here, so you might hear him talk to me. I'll try to tell him to be quiet. And I should have timed my video better. And then it'll also show you the different albums, so the different collections. So this is a rainbow effect. So these are all the different collections. So again, like I mentioned in my first video that I made about the Over app is really meant for marketing and making kind of your graphic products for marketing for a business. So some of it's pretty funky. Some of it's pretty, I wouldn't use it for scrapbooking, but it's kind of cool. So you can see, so that's in our collections. So I'm going to cancel that. So that was just searching a rainbow. Up here we have our new collections. So they have this cute springtime one. And so you can make a card out of this. So why don't we just press this little birdie here? She's right here with the basket, very cute. So what I'm going to do is let's just go through the buttons with this little birdie. So, of course, in the adjustment, we can change all these different things. But we don't have to change anything. That's more for pictures. And here's the color option. Again, we're not going to change anything with the color. If we were doing the shapes, if we were doing shapes or something, then maybe we could, but we're not going to change. If we change the color, we get a transparent, or, the whole thing just turns white. Here's our size. This is what you're going to find that you use when you're dealing with the graphics. So we can just slide your slider up and down and we get bigger and smaller. We can create a shadow. If we press on the angle, you can see the shadow appearing. Sometimes I like to add a shadow, sometimes I don't, but I try to be consistent. So if I'm going to make a group of cards all from the same graphic kit and I decide to add a shadow, I try to add the same shadow for everything. And when I say the same, what I mean is, so I try to get the same angle. So actually you don't need to put much of an angle on. And then if we go here and we go to the left and we blur it, you can see the numbers start to show up right here. So here I try hard to keep the same number. But as you blur it, you can see it kind of rises up off of the page a little bit. So the rule is the further from the page the element is the more blurry your shadow should be. So when you start layering things on top of each other, you're going to want that next layer to be a little bit more blurred. It'll look more like it's standing up off of the other layer. So we can just leave that now. We can change the color of our shadow. I never really do that. If I changed it to white, you could see that you kind of have more of a, I don't even know what that look is, but I don't really ever change that. And then we can change the opacity of the shadow. So they have it set at 40 all the time. But you can scroll it down. You can see it kind of disappears a little bit. And if we raise it up, we get more of a black line. So it just depends on what you want. A lot of times when I want something to lay closer to the, how can I explain it? So if I'm putting a photo in, I will kind of up the opacity a little bit to bring some definition to it. And then it will appear like just a little bit more defined. So that's the shadow. So we can, of course, the next one is opacity. So we're not going to do that. We can rotate it. That's our next one. And then the next ones I'm not going to really talk about. You can play with those too. But there is a crop option, which is nice when you're doing when you're working with like digital scrapbook paper or shapes and things. This nudge option is really nice because you can move it up and down. You can't really tell I'm doing it that much. So let's look at maybe adding a background to this. So I am going to check out of this because we're not going to deal with this anymore. I can still move it. But down here we have this shape option. So let's press on that. I'm gonna press a rectangle. Easy. So then we just pull, you can just pull each of these little yellow dots. You can pull it up and down. If you pull on this one, you're gonna round the corners. That red one. So we just make it as big as we need it to be. Sometimes when I get to the side, my phone case gets in the way, so it's a little bit harder. Oh gosh, what'd I do? Oh, you can always just press that check button, and then we got to highlight that again. You can always press that check button and get back to where you're going, and you can always undo. It's always an option. So now we can't see our birdie anymore. I'm going to go up here to the layer. I'm going to press on that, and now we can see our layers. So this is one of the great parts about the Over app is the use of layers. It's always a really nice part. I wish they'd add it in the Project Life app, but that's, you know, that's fine. They don't have it, and that's okay. So here is the layers, and I put sorry, my son's, this is so cute. He's being really quiet. I put the shape behind, so now my bird, and now we can start to see the bird kind of pop off of the shape. You can see the shadow a little bit better. So we could keep it like this, or we could change the color of the background. So to do that, I can either just tap on the shape and we get the shape up again and it's selected. Or if you have multiple things layered on top of each other, sometimes it's easier to go up here and select through the layers. So let's change the color. I'm going to show you how this works. So if we press on this little picker, I don't know why it's called the picker. I mean, it's picking the color. I get why it's called the picker. It's just kind of a funny name for that icon. So you can see we can start picking lots of different colors. So here's this light gray. Sometimes what I do when I'm going to make a set of cards, I will select and build all the colors. So I'm going to show you how I do this. So here's the light gray. I go down here to the little plus button, which you can't tell right now, but it is light gray. And I press plus. And now we've added the light gray to our collection of colors. And then I move to the green. So now you can see it. See the little pluses. So we're going to add the green to our collection. So you can see we're building up a collection of colors here. There's the purple, which I think is really sweet. Might leave it purple. We'll see. So we press the plus, and now we've added the purple. And then we've got this kind of darker and the lighter. And I'll show you why I do this in a minute. Stop moving around, you silly thing. There we go. Let's do the yellows too. So we've got this golden, and then we've got a brighter, sometimes it does that, brighter yellow. And let's do this. So you can build as many colors as you want. You can select them all. So when you get to the one that you want, now we just scroll through and we can see which one we like. And then we've got this light gray. I don't know which one to use. What do you guys think? I mean, I kind of like just the white, but for the sake of getting this done, let's go with, oh my goodness, indecision mania. Let's see. Let's go with this orange color. I think I kind of like that. So I'm going to make this little basket a little bigger, so you can see. And it looks a little tilted, but you can see the rotate is normal. But I think I'm going to tilt it just a little bit, because in my brain it just looked a little tilted at 0. So I'm going to tilt it just a little bit. So we're done with this card. That's very cute. I don't know if I love the orange. I might change that later, but we'll see. So I am going to show you guys how I'm going to make a couple more cards from this same kit. So I'm going to go up here, and this is going to save it to my projects. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to just press and hold on this, and I'm going to duplicate it. So now what we're going to find is that all of anything that I've done here is carried over. So when, like, especially my colors, that's kind of, I like that the most. But the other thing that's kind of nice is I can press on this and just press replace. I'm going to press replace, and it's going to open up that same collection that we pulled the bird with the baskets from. So now if we want to, well, let's just scroll through here quick and see. There's more birds. Oh, look at the cute one with the mommy and the baby. We've got all these different options. Oh, look at this little bunny. See, some of their graphics are really cute. Some of them I don't love. I don't make card collections out of all of them. What I'm looking for is here. This is what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for this one right here. This is kind of a solid background. So you can see, because I replaced it, it kept the same shadow format, which is nice because I talked about before wanting to keep the same shadowing throughout. This is going to actually be a background. I'm going to make a like a more of a patterned card as opposed to something with a big image on the front. So I'm actually going to take the shadow off of this, but if I was replacing this with something like you know, another bird or something, this is the same bird, I would leave the shadow on there. But let me show you how I would make a background. Where did that background go? Of course I picked the one that's way at the bottom. What else is on here? Oh, that green, that lily of the valley is cute too. Okay, so here's the background. I'm going to, so I pressed on that, I'm going to edit it. I'm going to go down here to shadow. I'm going to turn the shadow off because I don't want a shadow right now. And now I'm going to show you guys how, I think I had that other one rotated. So when you replace something, you like replace everything, even the rotation, everything. And that's kind of nice. So I'm going to rotate that back to 0. You can see that little -0. That actually means it's a little bit rotated. So here's this. So I'm going to bump it up a little bit here, make it a little bit bigger. And then we're just going to kind of tuck it in the corner. I'm just sliding my thumb. On the screen. You can't really see that, but it's just, you know, the slide of your thumb. So I'm going to check that. That's where I want it. I'm going to press on it again, and I'm going to say duplicate. And then a lot of their graphics are actually seamless. So I can bump it there, and you can see that they come together perfectly. And then we're going to do the same. We're going to duplicate. Then I'm going to slide down here and fill in this blank. And, oh, come on. So you can see I love over because it kind of snaps things into place for you. It stops it at points when you are aligned with something else. So if you were trying to put in multiple alphabets from a digital kit, it's kind of smart. It will sense what you're trying to do, and it will fill it in for you. And kind of, so right now it knows that I'm wanting to butt these two together. So it kind of stops me. I don't know how to explain it, but you can push past it, of course. But it's kind of nice when you're trying to align things up. That's one thing I really, really love. I know in Rana Collage, I wish they had that, because sometimes I'm trying to, you know, line something up and I've got to kind of guess, where in Over, when they give you that line, it's really nice. So here is a cute background we could use. Now I can go in and change the color of the background. I'm sorry, not a background, but a cute pattern we could use. Up here in the layers, I'm going to select, and now I can change the color. And as you notice, I've got all the colors that we pulled in. Woo, not going to use the purple or the green, but I've got all the colors that we pulled in from the bird and the basket. And again, we have indecision problems. So let's see. Oh, that purple is just not working. I actually think I like that orange again. So we're going to press, oh gosh, I just moved it. So again, you can move it back. You're not hurting anything. I'm going to press the little check, and there we go. And then we're going to go up here to this corner, and that's going to close out that selection. So you can keep going. So I'm going to duplicate again. We're going to get the same thing. Let's do a word. So this time I'm going to actually delete each of these layers. You can do it this way, where I'm just pressing on the layer, or you can come up here in the layers and you can delete by pressing the little red button, which is kind of a common phone thing. So let's open up the graphic again. Now we've got to go find our spring graphics again, which is totally fine, because we know it's right here, the springtime. So let's just do this cute springtime one. So if we want to, we can make it a little bigger. Now there's a lot we could do here. Now I am gonna put the shadow on. If you remember, I'm gonna pull it in a little bit closer. I think we did the blur was about 7, right? And we kept our opacity the same. Well, I think we actually bumped the opacity down a little bit. So there's our shadow, and we're again trying to keep the shadowing all the same when we're talking about our images that we want to stand out. You don't have to do that. That's just what I like to do. So let's add some more to this. We can go to the springtime. I saw some Lily of the Valley, little kind of, let's see if there's anything to add. These little guys. Yeah. Oh, look at that cute bear. Oh, look at the goose. That's so cute. So, I don't know if we need to add anything, but we can just give you an idea. You know, you could always add something in the corner or not. Maybe I'll just leave it. I can always press again, undo. That's going to just move it. Or we can go up here and delete it here. We have lots of different options for getting rid of stuff. Maybe I should change the background color on this one, huh? So again, I'm going to go up to my layers. Layer. And I'm going to go to color. And that yellow is very bright. I like that. That's really pretty. Let's see how the purple's really cute. Guys, this is where I have problems. If I was creating a whole bunch of cards, what I would do, I'm going to press this check again, because the check kind of finalizes the layer that you're working on. And then I'm going to go and close this down. If I'm working on a whole bunch of cards and a whole set, I come in here and I look, and I kind of look at what I'm working on, and I'm like, well, maybe I want to change the color of this background. Maybe I just want this to be white, just because it kind of balances everything else out. So let's go to this layer. Oh, not shape. We're going to go to color. Oh, no, I'm not. I don't need the picker. Okay, there's the white. So we just select that. Then let's go and close down again. And you can see now we kind of have more of a balance of color. So now when I want to export these, if I'm ready to use them, I'm going to press on this little button here up in this little arrow in the upper right. And then I'm going to press share. And then save image. That's it. And then I can go close out of that and share and, share and save image. And we can do the same for our little patterned piece. Share, save image. And now when we go into our photos, we will find, there they are. There's our birdie, there's our springtime, and there is our flower. And it is ready to be used in the Project Life app. So I hope that helps, guys. And our next video